It is my pleasure to talk today to Negin Mirriahi. She is coming from the University of New South Wales. Negin is a lecturer and academic developer at the University of New South Wales. She is doing research in educational technology, many activities in the MOOC space, as well as a lot of recent activities and leadership role in the area of learning analytics. So, Negin, can you tell us a bit about your learning analytics work and what kind of learning analytics you are working on?
Yes, I can. As Dragan mentioned, my learning analytics research is twofold in a sense. Currently, one aspect of the research that I do is a combination of video analytics and text analytics. So taking a look at how students are interacting with various educational video, whether it's lecture video, whether it's students' videos of themselves, how do they watch it? Do they watch it in the morning? Do they watch it in the evening? Do they watch the whole clip? Do they only watch perhaps the first quarter or the first third? And in line with that, with some of the case studies that I've been looking at, is exploring while they're watching the video, using some sort of video annotation software, if they're indicating what sort of notes in the video are most important for their particular learning, their particular course, what sort of linguistic processes are happening behind that, what sort of psychological processes are happening or cognitive processes in terms of the types of words that they're using, the length of their video, their annotations, their comments, and how does that come back to how they're interacting with the video? Because a lot of our instructors are using videos in their teaching, but we need to know how to best make use of it. We need to know which of our students are engaging with it in a way that's actually going to improve their learning. And if we can know that up front, then we can intervene as we need to. So the second angle of my learning analytics research is in the MOOC space. So I'm involved in designing and teaching a learning to teach online MOOC. And that particular MOOC, we're trying to push the boundaries in terms of the pedagogical design as a way to experiment with it in the MOOC space a little bit and see how it works. And so the research that I plan to do with this is to look at how students are engaging with the MOOC, what were their intentions to be involved in the MOOC, and did those intentions change along the way, how did they interact with everything, the different activities, the performance on the assessments at the end, in order to then be able to actually make some changes in our own blended courses at our university.
That sounds very interesting. So in terms of the types of insights that you are getting in your present studies, and also in particular, if you can focus on the particular types of stakeholders who can benefit from your insights, that'll be great.
So the research that I do is with the goal of informing pedagogical practice, and it's with the goal of helping academics, lecturers, teaching staff in general. So if I go back to the video analytics, text analytics research that I'm involved in, the ultimate goal for that really is if we can identify how our students are learning, how they're actually engaging with the videos, if we can then feed that back to the teaching staff, they can then make the changes in their practice. So it's almost part of, to me, learning analytics is part of evaluation in a sense, or self-reflection, or for the teaching staff to be able to identify how they can improve their teaching, how they can evaluate their teaching. Is it working? Is it what I did actually working? Or do I need to change something? And if we don't have the objective data alongside some of the self-reported data together, we wouldn't be able to make some meaningful decisions.
That sounds exciting. And in terms of overall general institutional support, obviously you are doing many interesting things in that space and a lot of activities. So what is the level of institutional support for all your activities, and how much of institutional buy-in there is?
So learning analytics is a bit of a buzzword right now. So a lot of institutions are trying to get involved in it. So the support that we have is by hiring myself and my colleague as academics involved in learning analytics and a little bit of educational data mining. We can start doing some of the research behind that. Alongside that, we have a MOOC educational data analyst specifically for our MOOC research, whose actual job is bringing together different types of data related to the MOOC, because we're using different platforms potentially. So how does that data come together? How is that de-identified, for example? How does that get then passed over to the research team so we can actually do the research that we want to do? non-MOOC related research, again, we have educational data analysts and data scientists who pull in that data for us so that as academics we can do the type of research we want to do, and more importantly, we can actually work with other academics at the university. So other course leads on the MOOCs, for example, other academics who are interested in the space, we can work collectively to get what we want to do.
Thanks so much, Negin. It seems that there are so many interesting activities. We look forward to learning more from your work, and thanks very much for sharing your experience with us.
A pleasure.